Okay, today we'll start our discussion on physics of electronic materials. Okay, so what are these electronic materials? What is your idea? See, I don't like one-way discussion. That's like lecturing, keep on lecturing or talking for 1 hour. I like the class to be a discussion mode so that you are also involved more and you don't get bored. Okay, what are these electronic materials? Any idea? Simple. It doesn't have to be very scientific or actual definition, technical definition. Whatever you can figure out. Hmm? Hello, I'm talking to
Sir,
you only.
Yes, sir.
Say a simple meaning. Looking at that, electronic materials means what?
So the
Gadgets.
materials,
the resistor,
conductor,
See,
semiconductor,
see,
which
there are
uses
two ways.
electricity.
There are two ways of attending a class, right? What are those two ways? Can anybody tell?
Online, offline.
Online, offline? No. Here, in the online itself. In
sir,
the
one is
online itself.
we listen to the class, other is we just log in and do our work.
Yes, exactly. Very good. One is involving in the class. Another is login and then login into the device. Then you keep on doing your work. Your work means that's not actually your work. You keep on wasting your time on games or social media apps. So that is the second way. Here, if you involve, it will be better so that we can have a discussion. It will be you will understand the subject. Later, it will be easy for you to take up the examination, test your knowledge. In fact, okay. So we'll take the one. We'll take the mode where we both involve in discussion of the subject, right? And remember, we are not testing your already whatever the knowledge already you have. We are just having an informal discussion whenever we go for it, and it doesn't have to be 100% right always. Sometimes just mere use of your common sense is enough to answer or take part in the discussion. But basically, you have to take part in discussion. You cannot keep mum always, right? It has to start somewhere. Let us start from here. Later, you will have the interview, you will have the group discussion. So let's start from here. You don't have to sound scientific or technical, 100% technical or scientific always. Whatever you know with the knowledge, whatever you have already, with that let's discuss. I am here to help you. I am here to give you the explain you the subject. What matters is a discussion, a start of a discussion, right? So, what is electronic material? Somebody started. A girl, can you continue?
Sir, it is the materials or devices used in making an electronic device.
Ah, good, very good. So, these are the materials which we use in fabricating or devising electronic devices. What are electronic devices? Can I have few examples?
So
Smart
computers,
TV,
Mobile,
Computers,
semiconductors.
TVs,
gadgets,
mobiles,
computer,
antennas.
TVs, mobiles, antennas.
Yes. Now, break these into smaller fundamental devices, fundamental components. Can somebody do? You understood my question or not?
no, sir. Can you repeat
For
it again?
example, you take a mobile. You said mobile is an electronic device, I accept. But within this mobile, there are smaller components, right? Within a television,
Yes.
there are smaller components. So break this bigger devices into smaller devices, and can you give some examples?
Motherboard,
Some motherboard.
Microphone,
circuits,
Yeah.
motherboard,
Break this
microcontroller,
motherboard.
processor,
Break this. Yeah, motherboard,
resistors, battery,
microcontroller. Break
speakers,
this
resistors,
motherboard. Break this motherboard
battery,
into smaller components.
integrated circuit,
resistors,
What does motherboard have? What does IC?
Transmitter, receiver,
ECD. Sensor. ECD. Yeah,
Sensor. Receiving
ports.
receiving transmission. Again, break this further down.
So some people are waiting in the lobby still.
Can you admit? You can't?
I can't.
Okay, let me. Can you break this further down? Possible? So come on, try. What does the motherboard as chip? What does the chip as?
It's a transistor.
CPU chip.
Transistor,
Combination of
diode,
operating.
MOSFET, right? Right? So the basic devices, basic electronic devices are, fundamental electronic devices are diode, transistors, MOSFETs. Agree? And you build any type of sensor. They again have diode, transistors, MOSFETs. So all the whole of the electronics breaks down into smaller devices.
నేను ఇంకా టిఫిన్ అయిన సంగతి మర్చిపోవాలంటే రోజుకు 2 పూట్ల నాకు ఇంకా
You have switched on your
పోయి వస్తా
where it is.
3 దోశలే పోయి నూనె తక్కువ వేయి.
Hey, who is that man? GKSR. I'll mute all. Meanwhile, whoever wants to talk, you can.
Sir, can you increase the volume, sir?
Okay. Okay, is it fine now? So basically, the whole of the electronic materials what we study, we do not study at the chip level. We do not study at the mobile level or computer level. We just study at the basic devices. Which are basic devices? Diodes, transistors, MOSFETs. So what is the material used in these devices? So we are breaking even down into such devices. Right? We have the LEDs. Okay. So what is the material used in such devices? What are the properties of this material? See, we using these devices, we build bigger devices. These are the small fundamental electronic devices where the actual electronic material is employed, and later we go on building bigger devices. Suppose if there is a motherboard or if there is integrated chip, IC, it has so many types of devices in it. It would have a sensor. Sensor is again out of a diode or a transistor. Then it has amplifier, it has receiver, it has transceiver. All these things are there. So all these are made up of smaller electronic devices. What are those smaller electronic devices? Diodes, transistors, MOSFETs. We will study what is the type of material used in this devices. So we are going at the very fundamental of these devices. We are not at all talking about the devices, their performance. We are only trying to understand the materials used in these devices. Because of the materials used in these devices get the particular or reach the expected function. Okay. So here in the first chapter, we will be discussing the crystals. So what are crystals? Somebody?
The shining material.
What are crystals? Can you define? You don't have to.
They're hard.
Don't Google and define. Whatever you know, with that, try to explain.
They have a
Again, I
definite
told you,
geometry shape.
it doesn't have to be 100% correct. Yes.
Crystals atoms are bonded with each other in regular pattern in a periodic order.
Atoms are bonded with each other in regular and periodic manner. They are called crystals. Then, if the atoms are bonded with periodic and regular manner, they are called. If they are not bonded with periodic and regular manner, they should be called something else, right? What are they?
Amorphous.
amorphous material. Right.
Voice not.
So we have two types of materials: crystalline material and amorphous. Okay. So these are the three different states of matter: solid, liquid, gas. Here we will be discussing about solids. How do we define solid?
Sir,
It's a large number of, yeah.
not
Atoms
clear,
are
sir.
closely packed.
Gokul Ramesh. Okay. So it is a large number of atoms bound together by intermolecular forces to have a volume and definite shape. Now, definite shape. Okay. Then, in this solids, as we discussed, we have crystalline and amorphous materials. We defined what is crystalline. Atoms bond with each other in a regular pattern to form periodic collection, and periodicity and long range order. So this periodicity is maintained for long range order. So what is happening with this Vignesh? I'm not able to admit him.
Sir, voice is not too clear.
Now,
Yes, sir.
yeah, just a minute. This person, Vignesh, I'm trying to admit, it's failing again and again. I don't know what to do. Papa, you must be waiting in the lobby. Okay. Just a minute. Give me a minute. Why this lobby thing is coming, I don't know. I set it to bypass the lobby. Few people are still. Okay. So then we have this. I don't know. We have some problem. Which section is? Any idea?
Sir, head section.
Sir, I guess B section.
Section. You ask what is this problem? Has any problem with this network or mail ID? Just check. Okay. Then we have the amorphous materials. These amorphous materials, they lack a regular arrangement of atoms or molecules, hence short range order in their structure. Okay. So look here. This is the crystalline material. For example, this is only for example. This is how they will see. Each and every atom, they are arranged in a regular and repetitive pattern. Here also, see, repetitive pattern. Okay. And we can always establish a distance, minimum distance between each of the atoms. And this is maintained throughout. You take any way, the same distance is maintained. You measure anyway, wherever you want, you measure, same distance between the adjacent atoms is maintained. So this is called crystals. Now this is amorphous. So here there is no periodic arrangement of atoms. Also there is repetitiveness of the periodicity. If the periodicity is there also, see here we can see periodicity. For example, see here from these two and between these two, it is periodic. But this is not repetitive. It is not repeated. Okay, it is not repeated either this way or this way. So periodic arrangement is not there and it is not repetitive. And if at all, in worst case, some cases, there may be periodicity, but it is not long range. See here the periodicity is only over 3 atoms. Here it is also 3 atoms. Here nothing. So periodicity is not there. Here there is 2 atoms are there. Okay. One after that, there is a minimum distance. Then there is nothing. That periodicity is not maintained. Okay. So in the amorphous materials, periodicity is not there and regular and repetitive arrangement is also not there. So here our interest is crystalline materials. We are interested in crystalline materials. Okay. Why we are interested in crystalline materials? Any idea? We will study in this crystalline materials, basically. Why are we interested in crystalline materials? Common sense.
Maybe because they could give uniform properties throughout.
Very good. One thing. Anything else? Anybody else?
They can conduct easily, sir.
Very, very good. Because you should be, see here, what you have to have is think by common sense. See, I said we are discussing materials related to electronics. So electronic materials. When I emphasize on crystalline, they should be having good conductivity. So all our metals which are very good conductors are all fall in crystalline group. Also, the semiconductors, whatever we use to fabricate devices, the diodes, transistors, MOSFETs, they all also fall into crystalline group. That is why we have very well-defined band structure. We will have well-defined band structure in crystals, whereas we will not have well-defined band structure in amorphous. Because we have very well-defined band structure in crystals, we can get good conductors as well as very good semiconductors. That is why all our interest is now on crystalline materials. So hereafter, we will majorly discuss the crystalline materials and their properties. Okay, you understand why we are so much interested in crystalline materials? Because all the devices what we use, the conductors and semiconductors in electronic industry, maximum they belong to crystalline. Don't we have amorphous semiconducting materials? Of course we do. We do have amorphous semiconducting materials, amorphous conducting materials also there, but we cannot match the performance of amorphous materials with the crystalline materials. Crystalline materials always supersede. They super perform compared to amorphous materials. We do have amorphous silica, but that is not as good as crystalline silica. But we have other advantages of amorphous material. But at the moment, more than 95% what we are using, even 99% what we are using, it is crystalline in nature. So we will focus more on the crystalline materials in this chart. Okay. So now, define few terminologies which we regularly use to address or characterize crystals. First one is the lattice. Lattice is a periodic and regular arrangement of points in space. It has nothing to do with atoms. Remember, it has nothing to do with atoms. It is the regular and periodic arrangement of points. We are not at all talking about a material. We are not at all talking about atoms. We are just talking about some mathematical points, some imaginary points in space. Clear? Okay, we'll define lattice as periodic and regular arrangement of points in space. No atom, no material. And this is called as space lattice. Because we have space. This is space. Nothing is there. So in this space, we have points. Just like this point. So these points are periodically distributed. Let's say. Yes. So this is a lattice. What does this point represent? Does this point represent anything? Physically, nothing. It doesn't represent anything physically. It is just a mathematical point. There is just a random point in the space. It doesn't represent anything physically. Nothing is there at this point. At this point, nothing is there. Now, put together all these points put together, I call this structure as, or this pattern as lattice. Okay, I call it as lattice. Just a minute. All these points put together, I call as a lattice. This lattice as a pattern, see, it has some distance running along x-axis. At each particular distance, particular repetitive distance, we have a point. At each repetitive distance, we have a point along x-axis. Let's call it as x. Let's call it as y. Okay. So at each repetitive length, we have point. Let this be X, let this be Y. Between two adjacent points, let the distance along x-axis be x, let the distance along y-axis be y. This x, y need not be equal, right? They doesn't have to be equal. It is just a repetitive pattern. We are not saying what is repeating along x-axis should also repeat along y-axis. No, need not. If there is 1 centimeter distance here, it may be 1.5, 2 or 0.5 along y. It doesn't have to be 1 centimeter, but it can be 1 centimeter. But it doesn't have to be 1 centimeter. That is the basic condition. Okay, so this we call as space lattice. So what is lattice in simple terms?
Regular arrangement of points in space.
Regular arrangement of points in space. What does this each point physically represent? Nothing.
Nothing.
They are just points. They are just points. Okay. Yes, this is a space lattice. And basis. So basis is defined as identical group of atoms at each lattice point. Now what we are doing? We are coming to physical reality. Till here, it is not physical reality. It is just, till here, it is just points in space, imaginary points in space. Now we are coming to physical reality. Basis. So we attach a group of atoms. It can be single atom or more than one atom to each of these lattice points. So we call it as basis. Okay. So this is a lattice point. Let's say this is a lattice point. I keep an atom here. That atom is called as basis. This point is called as lattice point. And when I keep an atom here, that atom is called as basis. That basis can have single atom or multiple atoms. I'll give an example later. Okay. Now, lattice.
Sir,
with
can you
basis.
explain basis again?
Yeah. Basis is just identical group of atoms at each lattice point. Identical group of atoms at each lattice point. For example, let's say, we have this lattice. Okay. At each this lattice point, I'll put one aluminum atom. One aluminum atom. Okay. What is this aluminum atom called as? Aluminum atom is called as basis. Basis. Now,
Yes.
now what I'll do, instead of one aluminum atom, I will place here what is this?
Gallium
Each of these
arsenide.
points, I am placing gallium arsenide. It is not a single atom, but it is two atoms, group of atoms. So now this lattice point is occupied by gallium arsenide, which is a basis. So in the previous case, basis consists of only one atom. Now the basis consists of how many atoms? Two atoms.
Two atoms.
Likewise, basis can consist of n number of atoms or many number of atoms. We are not bothered. But each point represents a lattice point, and whatever the atom or the physical structure occupies this lattice point, that is called as basis. Okay. Now, if we consider lattice plus basis together, what do we get? We get the physical crystal, right? We call it as crystal structure. Understand? Any doubt? Don't hesitate if you have any doubt.
No, sir. No, sir.
No doubt.
So Ga and arsenic will form a crystal.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Sir, please say basic. 1 second, sir.
Basis.
Point.
Okay. See, these are geometrical points. These lattice points are geometrical points. No physical structure is there. Okay, it's like looking at sky and you identify few points. Then to each of these points, you send in some physical body. So these physical bodies are called bases. Normally in a lattice, whatever the atoms or molecules occupy the lattice point, they are called as bases. So bases can be a single atom or group of atoms. All the lattice points are identical. So whatever occupies these lattice points, they also have to be identical. When we assign basis to the lattice point, the whole structure turns out to be a real one. Till then, as long as it was only lattice, it is not real. It is just imaginary, geometrical point. When we assign the basis to this lattice point, it becomes real. And it gives crystal, three-dimensional crystal structure.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay? No, you will get clarity. Don't. So now,
Yeah,
this is the
yes, sir.
this is the lattice. Same lattice here. Right. So this is the lattice. This is the lattice. These are just geometrical points, doesn't carry any physical structures. Now, at each and every lattice point, we have placed one basis. Basis is here, in this particular situation, basis is a set of two atoms. Set of two atoms. So these two atoms occupy each lattice point. These two atoms occupy each lattice point. Now, when these two atoms occupy each lattice point, this whole structure, it becomes crystal structure, which is a real one. Instead of defining lattice straight away, we could have defined with atoms, right? That's what you might be thinking. Why should we define space lattice, space, geometrical points, and then why should we attach the basis? But it has a lot of mathematical working to do this. So we always start with the basis, space lattice, then we go on attaching the basis. It is easier to achieve or arrive at the solution because crystal structures are very, very complicated distributions. Straight away we cannot do. We have to first mathematically work. We can look at the mathematical possibilities. Afterwards only we will go with the real act. That's all the idea. Okay. So now we'll look at some examples. Okay. So this is, look here. This is iron. These are the lattice points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just let me write. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the lattice points. Into these lattice points, each and every lattice point is now filled with or occupied with one iron atom. Each and every lattice point is now occupied with one iron atom, and this is how a basic structure looks like. Now this is called a crystal. This is called crystal structure of iron. This is called crystal structure of iron. Similarly, see here. This each point represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So each of these points represent lattice points. Each of these are lattice points. Then into these lattice points, one atom is attached. One atom is attached. When the atom occupies these lattice points, this turns out to be crystal structure. For example, here you see NaCl. So here each lattice point has how many atoms? One atom.
Two.
NaCl, each lattice point has how many atoms?
2 atoms.
One.
2 atoms. Each lattice point has two. So here, in these two cases, basis consisted of one atom. In this case, basis consisted of how many atoms?
Yeah.
Two atoms. I'll give one more example. You know this?
Buckminster Fullerene.
Buckminster Fullerene. 60. It has 60 carbon atoms put together. So here we have each fullerene has 60 carbon atoms. So which structure does this belong to? You tell me. Looking at
Carbon.
carbon, I know. So here
Football.
these 60, all the 60 carbon atoms, they are bonded together. They are single system. Okay. Now, when this fullerene crystallizes into a solid, what can we expect? What can we expect is this one. Look here. It crystallizes into face-centered cubic structure. So this is a cubic structure. This is a face-centered cubic structure. Look here. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5, 6. Where is 7? 7, 8. Where is 9? Okay, 9. Then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So these 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 14, what do they represent basically? Forget the fullerene.
Sir, those fullerene.
No. Imagine them without. What do they represent?
Atoms.
No.
Carbon.
Lattice.
Very good. Somebody tell me.
Lattice.
It represents the lattice point. These 14 represent lattice points. So here also we have 14, right? In this case, here, in this case, we have 14. Okay. So each and every point represents a lattice point. And each and every lattice point is occupied by one atom, one iron atom here. Here also, these 14 represent 14 lattice points. Each and every lattice point is occupied by how many atoms?
2 atoms.
Come on, here. In this case,
One atom.
60.
One atom.
think again, look carefully.
60, sir. 60 atoms.
5 atoms. 5 atoms.
Very good, very good. Come on, that's a great answer. Each and every lattice point is occupied by one fullerene. That means each and every lattice point is occupied by 60 carbon atoms.
Yes, sir.
So here we saw one lattice point occupied by one atom. Here one lattice point occupied by two atoms. Here one lattice point occupied by 60 atoms. Here basis is 1. Here basis has 2 atoms. Here basis has 60 atoms.
60 atoms.
Now, going back to this slide, you understand what is lattice and what is basis, what is crystal structure?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Sorry.
So for NaCl, how is it like two atoms are occupied in one lattice?
See, it's actually what happens. No, this is Na. This is which is bigger, Na or Cl?
Cl.
Na.
Cl, come on. Which has higher atomic number?
Chlorine.
Cl.
Chlorine.
Cl.
So, this is Cl, this is Na, and this continues. This is a solid, right? It continues. Okay. Here also it continues in all the directions. Suppose if we start from here, Cl, Cl, Na, Cl, Na, Cl, Na continues in this direction, or you can also continues in direction. Here, Cl, Na. Okay, these two form one basis. So what is the doubt here? Come again, if you still haven't understood.
So it's a basic repetitive unit is called.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because Na and Cl keep on repeating, so that is. Okay, sir.
So it is like, just a minute, lattice point, this is a lattice point, this is a lattice point. Let's say these are the lattice points. Okay. So here what we have is one Na here, one Cl here, one Cl here, one Cl here. Okay. Then we have one Na here, one Na here, one Na here. That's how it's going. So these two form one basis, these two form next basis, these two form next basis. It's going on like that. Don't look at individual atoms. Look at two atoms as a group.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next. So we have Bravais lattices. So in the Bravais lattice, so we have two kinds of lattices here. Bravais lattices and non-Bravais lattices. So in the Bravais lattices, all the points, these lattice points are identical. All the lattice points are identical. In non-Bravais lattices, these lattice points are not identical. Lattice points are not identical. That's called as non-Bravais lattice. Here we will discuss only about the Bravais lattices, not the non-Bravais lattices. Okay. So here, in this lattice, we'll define, this is a two-dimensional lattice, but we'll have to discuss about three-dimensional lattice. All the discussions what we'll have, it is about the three-dimensional lattice. But to start with and to have better clarity, we are starting with two-dimensional lattices. So in this two-dimensional lattices here, we are not bothered about X, Y, Z here. Some direction will define, but to be more comfortable, that XY convention will still continue. So we have this vector along x-axis and one vector along y-axis. The vector along x-axis, let us call it as A, vector A. Vector along y-axis, let us call it as vector B. Similarly, vector along c-axis, we'll call it as, vector along z-axis, we'll call it as vector C. Okay. Now, what does this vector A, B, and C represent? That is the question. So, from the diagram, you will very clearly see vector along x-axis, that is vector A, that represents the distance between the adjacent atoms along x-axis. Vector B represents distance between the adjacent atoms along y-axis. Similarly, vector C represents distance between the adjacent atoms along z-axis. We will define a crystal structure or the lattice points with respect to vector A, B, C. Okay. Now we have, let's say, we have atom here, and we know what are the vectors along x-axis and vectors along y-axis. So this vector we call as lattice parameter. Lattice parameter. So now we have the lattice parameter along x-axis, lattice parameter along y-axis. We only know distance between two adjacent atoms along x-axis, two adjacent atoms along y-axis. So I start with one lattice point, and at a distance A, I place another lattice point. At distance A, I place next lattice point. At distance A, I place next lattice point. Similarly, along along y direction, at distance B, I place next lattice point. At distance another B, I place next lattice point. So I go on repeating this. Okay. When I repeat this, what I get? I get a lattice. That is why we say it is a repetitive pattern. What I repeat the distance A along x-axis, distance B or vector B along y-axis. That's all I did. And I got a lattice. Right? So now this is the lattice. So from this lattice, let me choose a point, any point. Okay, because it is the whole lattice is identical, I can choose any point. Whatever
Separated by
point.
distance C, sir.
Okay, sorry. Say again. Okay, so I can choose any point. So I have chosen one point as origin. From this point, I calculate distance of some random atom. Okay, any atom I can calculate. I draw a vector from this point to another atom, any random atom. So this distance from I have considered this as the origin, this as the final atom. So what is the distance between, or how this atom is placed with respect to origin? That's what I would like to know. This is the origin. I want to know how this point, this atom or this point is placed with respect to this atom, because this is the origin. I have considered this as origin. It is very simple because I have vector A along x-axis, vector B along
distance C.
So distance R is equal to n1 times A and n2 times B. Simple. So with this, by defining lattice parameter A and lattice parameter B, I can characterize any lattice point in the lattice. Do you agree? All the thing is, I have to fix up an origin. Once I fix an origin, from that origin, I can define any point. So that point is given by R is equal to n1 times vector A plus n2 times vector B. Clear? We'll use this concept later. Okay, so these A and B are called basis vectors. This A and B are called basis vectors. They are also called as lattice parameters. They are also called as lattice parameters. So okay, over the time 11:30. Yeah.
N represents, sir?
N is the number. See here. A times 1, 2, 3. B times 1, 2. Where you reach here. That's it. Simple vector addition. That's all. This is how you calculate, right? This is along X, this is along Y. This many times A, this many times B. That is taken care by N1 and N2. Okay? We'll stop here.
Yes, sir.
It is 10:33. We'll meet day after tomorrow. Okay? Okay, guys? Any doubts?
Yes,
If you have any doubts, feel this Srikanth. Feel free to ask any questions. Don't share it.
Sir, can you say your contact number, sir?
I will be available. See, contact generally, I'm not very active on WhatsApp. but I'll be available on Teams. I have it on my mobile also. You can ping me anytime on my.
So many of us are not added to Teams, sir.
Contact number you can take. Just
Can you
I'll
say
type here. Yeah, I'll type here. Only in case of emergency, only contact here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
All the ways you can note down and don't send any forwarded messages, greetings, anything. Okay. I don't have time for check all those things. Okay. Note down my number.
Yes, sir.
Any case of emergency,
Thank you.
you ping me. If I don't answer also, you can ping me. Whenever I'm free, I will call you back.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Thank
Better
you.
if it is in Teams, it is better.
So many of
I
us are
always-
not added yet in Teams, sir. That's why I'm asking regarding the phone number.
Okay. In that case, you forward your email ID. I'll add it. I'll add you into Teams. Okay, guys.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
Take care.
PPT, sir. We uploaded this.